Let's go. It
We
is
out
the
here.
UKNO podcast. We are here for week 4.
I think so.
Yeah.
4 officially.
Yeah, week 4.
Week
Let's
like
go.
maybe
Okay.
like 9 or 10, maybe 12 unofficially.
Consecutively though, 4 weeks. I think we had like a 2-week break or something before we actually started recording them, and then now we're very weekly consistent. So I think that's
that's pretty
cause for
good.
celebration. This is our month anniversary, technically, or I guess next week would be.
Yeah, they say, what is it? Most people that start a podcast or something like this typically flake out after 6 weeks? So we make it
Oh, shit.
2 more
Okay.
weeks after
Yeah.
this, then we're pretty much professionals. So cheers to
Let's
that.
go. Cheers to that. What you drinking today?
Just a little Baja Blast,
That's fucking delicious. I haven't had a Baja Blast in years. I'm in this fucking season drinking an Irish coffee right now.
Ooh.
Thank you, Sam, for leaving the Jameson over here. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be a good podcast. I can tell.
I love it.
Okay.
I love it. See, I'm more of a Bailey's in my coffee kind of guy, but I can respect a little JMO.
Well, that's the thing. The Irish coffee has both. We got Bailey's,
Ooh.
JMO, coffee. Typically, it goes with a little bit of sugar, but none of that.
Double
in this
down.
today. Yeah.
I like
it. Yeah, no sugar today. Here we go.
I like it.
Let's settle into another good week, man. Shit. Let's break right into it.
Should we get into some headlines?
Let's break it in.
Headlines. So I think we'll start with the craziness that has been the NFL offseason and free agency so far.
Ooh. Tell me that.
You don't typically follow the NFL offseason, do you?
Not at all. I mean, I think this season I've been more interested. I don't know why. I couldn't tell you why, actually. But I've seen a lot more stuff this year than I have in past years.
It's been a while. I mean, the first week was wild with Carson Wentz going from the Colts to Washington. I mean, there's just been so much that it's hard to even keep straight. Mitch Trubisky, much love to what was his nickname here? Money Mitch? No, that wasn't it.
People definitely call it Money Making Mitch. Yeah, Money Mitch for sure.
Money Making Mitch. Kissing Titties Mitch.
Whatever you want to call him.
Mitch signed with the Pittsburgh Steelers, so he's going to be starting there. Props
I did
to
see
Mitch,
that. I was
Chicago
actually,
boy.
yeah, I was happy. I was very happy.
Big news. Tom Brady coming back saying, fuck the haters. I'm going to run it back one more time. Which,
Come on, man.
I feel like everybody kind of saw that coming.
Yeah, I feel like after this retirement, people thought it was going to be the end a lot more. I did, at least. I, for some reason, bought the bullet and thought that he was actually going to be retired, but he's back. 23rd season. My guy. Ugh.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I mean, I think from his perspective, it was probably let me look at the NFC. There's nobody there that I have to compete with other than Aaron Rodgers, which, I mean, he's not wrong.
Do you think that was part of the decision where, he just doesn't fuck with Aaron Rodgers, too? So he's like, oh, Aaron Rodgers coming back? I'll go back.
Quite possibly. I think it's more, I don't know, man. I think Tom Brady just has a fuck you mentality, and I think this is his fuck you mentality coming out.
I definitely feel that. After all the texts and stuff that he had received, LeBron
Or the fact
we're
that
the goats, man.
Schefter broke his retirement early and took that from him. I mean, people were joking about it before this happened that, what if he just says, fuck it, I'm not retiring, just to spite Adam Schefter? And I could 100% see that happening. And then it happened.
Shout out the guy that bought the last touchdown ball, $500K or something like that.
Terrible investment. Now he's just out $500,000.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, you're never gonna sell that for $500,000 again. Maybe if it's down the road once Tom Brady does retire, and then there's, I guess technically 3 last touchdown balls then, because of the first retirement, the second false retirement, and then now maybe his third and final retirement in a few years.
Well, you could even throw his last touchdown with New England. That one will probably be worth more than the one that guy bought for $500,000, which I don't know, maybe make smarter investments.
Yeah. Shout out the guy that bought the I forget what touchdown number it was, but it was mid this past season, right? Or the
the guy
that
he caught the ball that Mike Evans threw into the stands, and he got a couple bitcoins from Brady, tickets, a signed jersey, and a whole bunch of shit.
I feel that's cool. Pretty cool. Yeah, that's better than the $500K ball for sure.
Yeah. So Brady's back.
What else?
I think everybody kind of isn't that surprised while still being a little surprised.
It is what it is.
Peace
That's
and
football.
blessings to Khalil Mack. No longer a Chicago Bear, which that one, I'm not upset that they traded Khalil Mack. I just feel like we kind of got fleeced a little bit because we could have gotten more for him. The Bears got a 2nd rounder and a 6th rounder. I think the 2nd rounder is this year and the 6th is next year, or vice versa. Maybe flip-flop it.
I'm upset. No. I've seen way too many Bears fans that were just okay with this. And I mean, I get it. I get it that, like, we could get a lot for him, and he's definitely not making it through the rebuilding stages of this team anyway. But dang, man, it feels like we're really making the wrong moves here. I don't know.
I think this is the Bears. This is the new Ryan Poles, the new GM, 100% committing to a complete tear it down and bring it back from the ground up, because they let Eddie Goldman walk. They cut Tariq Cohen, so they're just freeing up cap space because Khalil Mack was the biggest cap hit. And I mean, in Ryan Poles' defense, Khalil Mack didn't really play much last year. All of the injuries. The year before that, he played, but he was injured. So he's had injuries with, I think, with either his ankle or his foot or his toe or something.
Yeah, I think it was an ankle thing, I think.
But just to, like, trade 2 first-rounders to get him. We had the 1 year, the first year he came over, where we had the best defense in the league. And then we didn't really do anything after that. That kind of hurts. I feel like we could have gotten a 1st and a 6th, or like a 2nd and a 3rd or a 4th. I feel like the picks, we should have gotten more. I'm okay getting rid of them. You need the cap space, and we're not going to be competing, so why are we paying him that much money in the first place? But so that one hurts. And then are you up to date on all the Deshaun Watson shit?
No, I am not.
No? So he's obviously, last year he didn't play at all. That was quote unquote his decision. But then after he made that decision, Houston, after he made the call that he wasn't going to play next year or last year, he started getting accused of sexual assault after sexual assault after sexual assault. I think the final count was maybe 23 different women accusing him of various misconducts and like creepy shit. So
come on, man.
He officially did not get charged with criminal charges, and the civil charges he was not found guilty either. So as far as the courts are concerned, he did not do anything wrong. But I think in the court of public opinion, he still comes out looking like a scumbag. So now all these teams, because he doesn't want to play for Houston anymore, and because he doesn't have the legal issues anymore, are trying to trade him. And it's kind of surprising. I felt like he was going to be kind of somebody that just got blackballed, because he just seems like an asshole.
That's real. I mean, that's super real. He does kind of seem like an asshole. I don't know much about Deshaun Watson. Once you have that many things come out about you, I mean, it sucks, man. That's the kind of stuff where you gotta. If I was an NFL team, there are plenty of players out there that have very clean records that are good. They're probably not Deshaun Watson good, but if he hasn't played for a year, goodbye. Yeah, done.
It's like one person comes out and says something. Okay, 2 people, 3 people. Okay, maybe you had like 2 or 3 instances where something bad happened. Maybe you didn't do anything illegal or that scummy and it was just a bad interaction. But 23 individual people coming out and saying you did some like nasty, inappropriate shit that shouldn't be done. I think we as a podcast, we can disavow Deshaun Watson. We are out collectively on Deshaun Watson. Yeah, I think that's fair to say.
I could disavow Deshaun Watson for sure. It's so crazy. Even if like 75% of those people were lying, right? And that's not likely the case that 75% of them are lying. That's still way too many people.
Way too many people.
Like 5 to 10 people that, not 10 people, but like 7 people that you just fucking, I don't even know the stories, but at this point I don't want to. We're just disavowing Deshaun Watson. We know he's a bad dude. Stay away from Deshaun Watson, everybody. Not the guy.
No, sir.
Not the guy. Not even a little bit.
Not my quarterback. I'll tell you that much.
At this time, though, I do see, Von Miller going to the Bills.
That's
like
big.
The Buffalo Bills, man. I'm a big Buffalo Bills fan. Actually, my dad, giant Buffalo Bills fan from Buffalo. But me, on the other hand, at least was rooting for him this past season. They went pretty far, and they damn near deserved to beat, who was it, the Rams that they lost to?
No, they lost to the Bengals. Or no, they lost to the Chiefs. and then the Bengals beat the Chiefs. But they didn't even get a chance in overtime. Mahomes just went down, scored, and then that was a game. Which I think that's something down the line that the NFL needs to address, changing those rules.
People have been talking about those rules, yeah. Yep. I mean, even Josh Allen was like, yeah, what could I do? Like, we did everything possible. The last 5 minutes or not overtime, regular time in that game were some of the best 5 minutes of football I think I've ever watched in my life. If I'm dead honest.
That was an amazing game.
Yeah, they're just back and forth touchdowns. Like, hats off. Josh Allen and the Bills definitely deserve some defense like Von Miller. Maybe they stop Pat Mahomes from getting that touchdown, even if he gets the coin toss.
Exactly. So from a plethora of changes of personnel in the NFL to changes in our streaming platforms, Netflix trying to just fuck everybody's day up.
Yeah, I mean, has everybody kind of fucked Netflix's day up? I'm not trying to be on the side of the corporations here. Okay. But Netflix is now trying to crack down on password sharing between accounts. I guess not between accounts, but between people on the same account. And I'm honestly not entirely sure how they're doing it just yet. I imagine it's going to be like you can only be logged into a certain amount of devices at the same time. On my side, at least, I know that I do share Netflix with my family, and we have like the one screen watching at a time thing. So we can be logged in wherever we want. But if my sister's watching The Witcher, then I can't watch Formula One Drive to Survive. So Netflix is already doing the thing. I don't know what more they want from me. They're just going to like log everybody out and have them change their passwords or something. I don't know. Do you split accounts?
I don't get how they're going to do this, because I think the only time I've run into this is with like ESPN Plus, because my dad's got ESPN Plus, and so I use that. And whenever we get like UFC fights, it's on the ESPN Plus. And I've got a couple of friends that have the ESPN Plus login, which works in my favor because they love the UFC fights too, and they'll just buy it on their own accord, and then I'll hop on the ESPN app. I'm like, oh shit, I got the McGregor fight for free.
Hell yeah.
But I think ESPN Plus like limits the amount of people that can be streaming it at one time. That's the only way I could see them doing it. But I mean, at what is the threshold going to be, right? Because they let you get different profiles. So what's the point of that? Like, if you're in a household and you're all in the same household, and like you've got little kids downstairs that your parents, the parents are trying to distract them while mom and dad are upstairs watching, whatever the like Formula One Drive to Survive or something like that.
Yes, good choice, mom and dad.
I don't know. I don't think it's gonna go as far as they think it will.
Well, that is interesting anyway, because you could do the kind of thing where it's a nuanced topic. You could do the kind of thing to where, like every time, say I log in to my TV to watch Netflix, it logs everyone else on the account out, so I can still have my profile on here, but like you can't have more than one person logged in at once, which probably wouldn't cut down on password sharing. I'm sure that would. Like, so it'd log everybody else out that's on my parents' account, for example, and then people that don't have the password, like people that I just logged in on, watching Netflix one time, they would then be logged out forever, essentially, which is going to hurt a lot of ex-girlfriends and boyfriends for a lot of people I know, because they're still on whoever's Netflix account, and that's, I don't know, it's what, $10 a month?
It's really
go buy some Netflix stock and get a Netflix subscription. We're all going to get rich together.
I think you'll see them start to do ads on the streaming platform before you start to see them really like enforce password sharing. Either that or they'll just
hate that.
That or they'll just like introduce like what Hulu did, where there's multiple pay scales, where you pay $10 a month, you get 2 users at one time. You pay $15 a month, you get 4 users at one time. $20, you get 6 users. $25, 6 users, no ads, and like shit like that.
They definitely have versions like that already. But yeah. I mean, if it turns into a YouTube kind of thing, I'm not as mad. I mean, I do have ad block on my YouTube. Huge. I recommend getting it if you have a chance to get ad block on your YouTube. But if there's a certain kind of thing for Netflix and they just try to put ads on it, like they got a rude awakening coming. I'm not watching any of them, and they have no choice.
How are you gonna get your F1 done?
Well, the first thing is I can pirate anything I want. You ever heard of F movies, people? Let's go. I'm incriminating myself. I don't plead the fifth at all. I will probably pirate most things, and I'm going to do it to the day I die. This is the internet age, people. But at the end of the day, I don't think Netflix is also that great. You know what I mean? When it comes to Hulu, I mean, Amazon Prime is kind of trash, but like Hulu, HBO Max type stuff. Some people even really like Disney Plus. You know what I mean? It's not my cup of tea, but if you want to watch the Mighty Ducks every day,
I'm watching Netflix more for documentaries and stand-up specials than like anything. HBO,
they do have good stand-up specials.
HBO has become the spot for like original TV shows. There's too much shit that Netflix is putting out now where it's just like you got to sift through the bullshit and you got to find the show that's actually decent.
Which I think happens with any network, you know what I mean? Back in, ABC's heyday, there was a lot of trash to get to, every couple gems that were on there. So Netflix is just going through that little adolescent phase before it finally gets phased out by the ultimate streaming service, which I don't know what it is yet, but we'll get there.
The ultimate streaming service is going to be when Netflix buys out Hulu and then buys out fucking Disney. And
is that a monopoly, though?
It's a
Would they break that up?
1,000% a monopoly.
Can they? I mean, they probably could break it up legally, but do you think like the government would step in and break something like that up, like an entertainment monopoly, or are we doomed to kind of repeat those same? Yeah, you're saying no.
No, I just watched the John Oliver special on fucking Ticketmaster and how Ticketmaster is a monopoly that owns Live Nation, that owns StubHub,
many venues,
that
all
like has exclusive contracts with like 75% of the venues across the country, and. The government isn't doing shit about that. The government doesn't care about anything other than getting their money from Raytheon and Lockheed Martin and Leidos.
He's not lying, people. God damn. Episode 4 of the podcast. We're really coming for next.
We're speaking truths.
All right, we got to move on here. Netflix to daylight savings, though. So I actually don't know who had proposed getting rid of daylight savings time. Do you know?
Some senator, and I'm just going out on a limb, and I'm going to say it's the senators from Arizona or Hawaii, because they don't do daylight savings time. And I feel like this is hey guys, we don't do this, so you guys shouldn't either. And I think it's just like an old, outdated, I don't even know why. Do you know why daylight savings time started in the first place? I know it's to get more daylight, but...
Yeah, I heard it was originally for like farming communities and stuff like that. So you would shift the clocks, that way you then would have more time to, do things on the farm. And I can't confirm if that's true, if I'm honest. Okay. But that makes no fucking sense anyway. You did go to Iowa,
so I mean, you're educated in that.
Corn, baby. That's what we're talking about. It's corn. But I feel like just wake up earlier. Like or later. Fall back, spring forward, right? So wake up earlier. Wait, which one is daylight savings? So we're not on daylight savings time now, or
we're on daylight savings time because when we
spring forward,
backward.
We are on.
We fell backwards so that we could have more daylight, because it was sunset was at like 5:30, and now sunset's at like 6:30, I think.
Yeah, I mean. But it's also sunset is moving forward on the timeline anyway, because we're getting longer days, right?
Yeah.
Dude, this makes no fucking sense. We should have gotten rid of it so long ago. I've always thought this. I was like, okay, so if it was for farming or whatever it was for, how about you just do things an hour earlier or an hour later? You know what I mean? You're like, oh, I want to wake up with the sun. Then fucking wake up with the sun. You don't have to shift when I go to work. Just so you can like farm your crops more effectively. You know what I mean? I don't think we have to change our clocks, right?
I agree, but what I will say that if this actually happens, what I will miss is that one day out of 365 where you get an extra hour of sleep, quote unquote, an extra hour of sleep. I'm gonna miss that.
The fallback is huge. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I've pretty much missed the fallback for the last like 3 years, maybe more than that, because I feel like I'm always up too damn late. And then all of a sudden it's an hour later and I'm like, oh shit, we got an extra hour at the bars or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah, like I'm on board for this as long as there's like a caveat in the bill where it's legally required for your job to start an hour later and you have a 7-hour workday one day of the year.
Not a fucking chance.
If that's out, I'm out.
That's a great idea though.
Because I do like that idea a lot. That's the only thing that whenever you talk about daylight savings time, it's oh, well, you get an extra hour of sleep. That's literally it. Other than that, there's no point to have this. Just wake up earlier or later, whatever suits your fancy. And yeah, I'm amazed that more of the country hasn't gone the route that Arizona and Hawaii
Okay,
did.
actually, a couple different things to this. So one, we are on daylight savings time now. So when we are springing forward, that is when we are saving the daylight, allegedly. And the bill is here to actually make daylight savings time permanent. So we're talking about like permanently having sprung forward, which it doesn't really matter, I guess. But like we just never go back. What I really would like is if we get this one last fall back and then stick off of daylight savings time forever. Maybe that's just me.
Do other countries do daylight savings time?
Ooh. I mean, I guess America had tried getting rid of it before. I do see that.
Does America just like fuck up everybody else's time zones for 6 months out of the year? That would be a very American thing to do.
Approximately 70 countries utilize daylight savings time. At least a portion of the country. Major industrialized countries that do not include it are Japan, India, and China. They're the only ones that do not really.
Those are also
pretty much all of Europe fucks with daylight savings and shit. I don't know. Maybe if we get rid of it, everybody else just gets rid of it. Global time zone.
So what you're saying is all the white countries fuck with daylight savings time.
And oh damn, I did say major industrialized countries. Yo, that's such a bullshit way to say white countries.
I hate it here.
Whatever, man. Yeah, you're right though. Good catch. Very good catch. I was gonna say Africa too, but it looks like most of Africa here is not fucking with it. Looks like Egypt, a little bit of daylight savings in there. But, hey, Egypt, come along to the right side. Let's make daylight savings not permanent.
Classic.
Actually, let's go out. I'm going to go protest tomorrow.
Classic
no more daylight savings.
White person thing. Come up with an idea that you think is the best idea in the world, and then just forcibly make everyone else adopt that idea.
Oh, yeah.
Just look at
imperialism, baby. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Man, you got to love some good old democracy. I do kind of wish that we had let Russia join NATO. I'm not going to get into that, though, right now, because we got to move along. All right, Russia
and Ukraine.
Lil Durk. Russia and Lil Durk. Here we go. So you asked the question, I guess, technically, Justin. So I want you to ask it on the podcast. I don't want to be the one to ask your question.
So Lil Durk dropped an album. The question, it's very important. The people are asking, the streets are asking, the hoes are asking. Do we care?
So let me weigh in real quick. So, okay, I DJ'd a show last week, Friday, and it was a request before I even plugged in my stuff, like play a bunch of the Lil Durk album, right? And I was like, oh, okay, I bet it's good. I'd heard Aha, you know what I mean? And then recently I heard the song Barbarian or whatever. But as I was listening through the songs, like downloading them for the show, I was like, this is really boring. I actually think Lil Durk's music is like pretty boring. And I asked Lassa today. I was like, Lassa, I feel like Lil Durk's music is mad boring. And he was like, oh yeah, I've thought that. So do people just like support artists because they're getting big and they want to see someone from the city like Chicago get big? Or do they actually really listen to Lil Durk? Because I'm bored, man. I'm dead bored. I don't know.
That's my thing. Yeah. And I feel like a lot of artists, hip hop, regardless of the genre, right? A lot of artists get trapped in, like, they have a sound when they first come up, and like when they first start to get some pop, like whether it be on the radio, whether it be like they start selling out shows, they get streams, and they get stuck in the trap of like playing to that sound, right? And Durk shit is just, I feel like half of his bars he's said in a previous album.
Oh, I completely agree. It's very repetitive. Yeah.
For a while, Lil Durk's, like his last maybe 3 projects, I've been like, oh, okay, I like this song. I'll pick like 2 or 3 songs off the project that I can actually listen to and enjoy that song. The rest of it just sounds the same and it's super boring. It's like the same instrumental, just with like a different hi-hat or like a different 808 in the back. It's you hit it on the head. It's mad boring.
I think that's the thing, man. And you're exactly right with like artists getting kind of pigeonholed into a certain sound, because I do think people have loved that Lil Durk sound since he first started coming out and stuff like that. But like I do kind of wish he would take his singing stuff more towards like the Weeknd vibes where it gets more poppy. I wish he would take his rapping stuff more towards like, you know, like a Kendrick or Future or Valet, where he has more, you know, inventive flows and voices that he uses and stuff like that. But you're so right. It's just the same bars, the same beats. Like Lil Durk, I love you, man. Honestly, I think the features that he does he's one of the best feature artists in the game right now.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah, his album, boring. Like I just can't. It's like 3 songs where I'm like, this is cool, but I'm gonna forget about it.
He's a really good feature artist, and I think he can write a really, really good verse, a very creative verse with good wordplay. But when you try to make him do a song with 3 verses, and then another song with 3 verses, and then another song with 3 verses, where he's the only one on there, those songs are going to get shorter. They're going to go from a 3.5, 4-minute song to a 2.5, 2:45 song, and the quality is just it's gonna tank. And big ups to him, because he's huge now, and he's doing $1 million worth of game podcasts and shit like that, where he walks up to the podcast with a duffel bag and $1 million in cash, which that's a move and a half. You got to respect that. And the fact that he's got the whole crew with him, anywhere I go, the squad goes, got to respect that. But we can respect that while at the same time being like, yo, this album is like low key kind of garbage.
Okay. I agree. I think everyone needs to watch out for those pitfalls. You know what I mean? Make sure that you're keeping it fresh, keeping it interesting, keeping it changing up on your fans, because a lot of people do that where they just fall into a rut. They get big off of that, but at the same time, like, how long can that last when the trap sound is even dying as it is? You know what I mean? Trap is going down the tubes, and we need to make sure that everyone has a new sound to gravitate towards. You know what I mean? Lil Durk could be that person, but he's not right now.
Maybe just maybe don't release an album once every 6 months, and maybe give it a year and a half, and don't just make 12 songs and be like, yo, that's dope, throw it out.
That is kind of the way that music creation, content creation works now, though. You know what I mean? We kind of have to do this weekly to get a decent following on it. Lil Durk has to be dropping every 6 months or something. Maybe not a full album. Maybe that's the problem. It's just it's too much. Whittle it down to 6 songs, 5 songs every 6 months.
I don't know, man. Look at Saba. And I mean, you could say look at Kendrick or look at ASAP or look at Kanye, but they're in a league of their own.
Yeah, those are different. Yeah, those are different.
Because it's they do that artistic lane change for every project. Every album that they release has a different sound, and there's a different production, different vocals, different background. Everything is different, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe just take a step back and put a year and a half into a project and release a couple singles here and there, for the streets. And
that's it. I don't know what kind of deals people are under. I don't know what Saba's deals be looking like, because you're right about Saba.
100% independent?
I'd believe it. I don't know. I don't have time to research it now, but we're going to go ahead and say Saba is completely 100% independent. I know he does a ton of deals with Apple Music and stuff like that, so he might not be, but that's what Chance was doing too. Maybe it's just a Chicago sad boy thing, Chicago hip hoppity boy thing to get a deal with Apple Music.
His label, according to Wikipedia, is Saba Pivot LLC, but I mean, that's his own shit.
That's independent for sure. Shout out our indie artists out there, man. All right, Lil Durk, Pivot. Start taking some goddamn notes from Saba. What are you doing? Okay.
Yeah, he's not even, Saba Pivot LLC isn't even listed under any other label. That's 100% their shit. And I think, oh no, they're not.
That's huge, man. They must be making such a high percentage of that, but I wonder how much money they actually make off of that kind of stuff. Because they do have a lot of people in Pivot Gang to feed, you know what I mean? But that's still the vibe. I mean, good for anybody who can make it independent. I know for a fact Durk didn't, and I don't know about couldn't, but it was definitely easier for him to sign a deal, so I don't know what his deals be looking like for real.
Oh yeah, 100%. But
all right, man.
Hey, just keep it fresh. The next gentleman on our headlines, Pete Davidson.
This is a tough one. This is a tough one. You know what I mean?
But I mean, I feel like we need to say this. Nobody out there has had a better run over the past 2 to 3 years than Pete Davidson. It's just you can't compete with his numbers. You can't compete with the talent on this man's roster. You just can't.
That's real. I mean, as it comes to a lot of different things, like women TV spots, like he tons of brand endorsements. But he's like credited for single-handedly bringing SNL to like Generation Z, basically. I feel like them Gen Z kids would not fuck with SNL if not for Pete Davidson. Him and Machine Gun Kelly, white boys taking over the world, but I don't know, man. This whole Pete and Kanye thing, the reaching out from Pete seems like, and I wouldn't even want to say misguided. It just seems like vengeful at this point. Which I get it. Kanye's saying a lot about Pete, but like, damn, Pete hopped on his phone naked and shit. Chill out.
But like, that's a from the top ropes. I'm gonna put you in a body bag text to send. Where you at right now? Wife. In bed with your wife, and then the picture to follow it up, bro.
Dude,
it's wild.
Dude, and then Kanye was just like, "Come to Sunday service." Like, oh, using profanity now. Find God. I don't even know what to say about it.
As he did fuck with like the 3 stars instead of the actual letters.
They both definitely are crazy people right now. You know what I mean?
I think
yeah.
I think Pete is less like, I would say, no, let me reword this. Pete is more stable mentally, I think, than Kanye is right now. They're both crazy. But I think the texts that Pete was sending were potentially like are in the mindset of, I'm going to make this look like I'm caring about this person and like, let's talk about this like men, take care of your kids, like go get mental help, like this, that, and the other. When in reality, he knew that Kanye is just going to take screenshots of this shit and post it on Instagram. So I'm going to say some like kind of catty and sarcastic shit.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think the only one who really has their head on straight here, unfortunately, is Kim. And Kim seems like an evil person the more I learn about her. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I had said from the beginning that it was a bad mistake for Kanye to marry Kim. I don't know if that's a controversial opinion, but like, I've never really fucked with Kim Kardashian like that. But she's the one that seems to have her head on straight, at least kind of keeping everything under wraps until the Keeping Up with the Kardashians like episodes about it come out and stuff like that, because she knows where her bag is at. You know what I mean? Kanye is just trying to, I don't even know what Kanye is trying to do anymore, because I guess he does see his kids decently regularly. Like, he picks them up for school and shit like that. So at a certain point, he is kind of out of bounds as it comes to the way he is trying to go about this in the public eye, I guess. But then Pete Davidson, from the top rope, just making things a whole lot worse and weird for everybody. Like, what the fuck? I'm at a loss.
It's just a wild text, dude. That's
yeah.
There's no text that Kanye can then send to like come back from that. That's a knockout text to send. Kanye's been throwing body blows. Pete's been like staying out of it 100%. He hasn't said anything to the media. I don't think he's posted any of this shit to Instagram. He's been laying low, like playing it off the record type shit. And Kanye's out here saying in the media, I'm rich enough to hurt you, or like pay somebody to hurt you, and say shit like this. He's throwing these body blows, and then Pete just comes out of nowhere and just a one-time haymaker, and it's just lights out. Like, you can't come back from that.
I think the thing that nobody is really giving credence to right now is that if Kim wasn't with Pete right now, right, she would just be with someone else, and it wouldn't be Kanye. You know what I mean? Pete is just the one fucking Kanye's wife. He's not the one that split them up. So like,
and Kanye would be saying the same shit about whoever else it was.
Exactly.
So just find a different nickname.
Said, exactly. Skete is pretty good.
That's a great nickname.
That's like Trump level nickname. I'm not gonna lie. But fucking, if Kanye could just realize that fact, that Pete is not the one that split them up. It was Kim that split them up, and probably Kanye's actions that split them up. then he would start to realize that, okay, like, this is just not a winnable situation. I look like an idiot out here. If Pete realized that he's just flavor of the moment, which has been his MO for the last 3 years when he's, amassing this hit list, like, if he realized that, he definitely would have stayed out of it indefinitely, because he's like, yeah, I'm enjoying my time with Big Booty Kim K, and we're going to go ahead and probably call things quits in like a year, because that's what Kim K does, man. She's a serial relationship.
That's what Pete Davidson does too. Like,
yeah, like
he finds somebody in the
date
spotlight.
Ariana Grande, they're gonna move on. He's gonna date Kim K, they're gonna move on. You know what I mean? Like, Pete is not here for a long time. Good time kind of guy, And that's exactly where the text comes from too.
I want to see a celebrity boxing match, Kanye and Pete. I want to see
the
Barstool
Paul?
Sports. No, not even that official. I want to see a Barstool Sports Rough and Rowdy headline by Pete Davidson and Kanye West. Give me 5 2-minute rounds, minute and a half rounds, where they're just out there trying to throw haymakers, gassed after the first 15 seconds. That's
Definitely
what I want to see.
the first 15 seconds. Neither of those guys are athletes whatsoever. Kanye has gotten his body back a little bit. Shout out, whatever. Pete has always been a fucking twig. What is he, like 6'5" or something like that? Like, he's a lanky dude.
I probably weigh more than him.
Yeah, type shit. I do not put a lot of eggs in Kanye's basket in that fight. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think he's got the juice when it comes. I think Pete definitely has a longer reach and all that. I don't know, man. I don't know. People had offered Jake Paul offered them $60 million for the fight, but like Kanye's worth $1.8 billion. Pete Davidson worth about $8 million. I looked that up the other day. Pete Davidson would probably do a fight, but I mean, he's flavor of the moment, man. Pete Davidson's got to milk all of this that it's worth, because once he becomes like 40-year-old Pete Davidson, what's the vibe? Does he turn into a George Clooney type, or does he fade away into butthole-eyed obscurity? You know what I mean?
I think an alternative like way to settle this beef.
Yeah, say that.
I want to see a what's it called? Not like the comedian's version of a rap battle, or like a rap battle.
Just like they should do a Yo Mama joke off.
That would be good.
Yo Mama,
like there's a word.
fat.
There's a word for it, and there's a whole like circuit of it.
Comedian rap battle thing.
In like the comedian world, where it's just like, have you ever seen the show Crashing with what's his face on HBO?
I have not.
No.
Crash.
They do the whole thing. It's like now it's gonna.
They should do you remember Zoolander where they do a walk off? Should do a walk off. That'd be sick. I want to see Pete Davidson pull his cheetah stripe underwear out of his butt. Yeah. Pete has no style. No style. Kanye, not my favorite style, honestly. Kim has Kanye style now. Where are the real fashion icons, Justin? This is what I need to know.
I can't find the name for it, but whatever. You know what I'm talking about. I want a rap battle by comedians. That'd be cool.
I bet. Yeah, I think most versions of a battle, I'm actually not that confident in Kanye's side.
You know what?
Especially
I
like a joke off. Yeah.
You know what I think?
What?
Pete and Kanye could agree on.
What?
That Tucker Carlson has a very punchable face. How's that for a segue?
All right, good transition. Talk about it. What's up? I mean, I haven't actually seen any Tucker Carlson, I think, in my life, besides like little bits on John Oliver, but he's such a fucking dweeb, right? Like, that's just his whole thing.
That's a very good word to describe him. I don't know. I was watching, like, catching a little bit of Fox News at the gym the other day, because they've just got everything on.
Fox News at the gym.
It's just, he says a sentence, and I can't even hear what he's saying, but he says a sentence, and then he stops and he looks at the camera like, and he's got these facial expressions where he looks like he went to like a low grade business school, like he went to business school at like Mississippi State, got straight C's. Like his dad's a huge booster, and so that's how he got into the school. He's in like not a low grade, but mid-tier frat where like he can't really pull. And
bottom tier.
The only reason he gets anybody to go with him on socials is because he uses his dad's credit card to buy a bunch of blow, and then like gets a 5-star hotel.
Where the fuck did you get all this dirt on Tucker Carlson?
I'm just like spitballing here. I think he looks like a person that just needs to get his ass kicked.
I believe that. I mean, that's real. That's one of those things where he looks like the kind of person that has not struggled a day in his life, but would tell you he struggles every single day. You know what I mean? Kind of guy that like has so many opinions about things that I feel very close to this one, at least. So many opinions about things he knows nothing about things that don't affect him whatsoever. Like, I mean, same. We do have this podcast.
That's true. I feel like he would come to work and try and tell you about like a super traumatic experience he had this morning on his way to work, and then he would go into the story, and the trauma is just somebody walking their dog, letting their dog poop on his front lawn and not picking it up. That's his experience with trauma.
What a heartbreaking story, Tucker.
But that brought me to my question.
Yeah.
Who do you think has a more punchable face than Tucker Carlson?
More punchable.
For a while, like I like Jay Cutler, but when Jay Cutler was on the sidelines and he'd take his helmet off, he kind of had a punchable face. Where he just looked like he didn't care, he didn't want to be there.
It's unfortunate. I think a lot of people that don't have very defined chins end up having a more punchable face, if that makes sense. Like, as your chin recedes back into your neck and it kind of slopes from bottom lip to Adam's apple, you get more punchable. You know what I mean? And Jay Cutler, when he had that like dumb like sidelines face, oh yeah, the face that Tucker Carlson gives into the camera whenever he makes that point, oh yeah. Piers Morgan, do you know Piers Morgan? Very punchable face. Like same thing.
Piers Morgan has a very punchable face.
Bottom lip to the top of his shirt collar. You know what I mean? It's just one flap of skin.
Another one,
goes straight that
Luka
way.
Doncic, same kind of thing. He's kind of got like fat face.
He does have that.
And whenever he like doesn't get a foul call, and he goes and he's bitching to the refs, I feel like he's kind of got that punchable face.
Like that. Yeah, I hear that. I'm a big Luka Doncic fan, but I hear what you're saying with that 100%. That's super real. Who else? I'm trying. Mitch McConnell, big punchable face. Oh my God, punchable turtle. He's an old man though. I don't know if I'd hit an old man. I'd hit Mitch McConnell. I'd definitely hit Mitch McConnell.
I like how you
theory,
gave
though,
that,
this is not
like,
a threat.
I like how you gave that like a 5-second pause. To, like, like no, I wouldn't want it. Yeah, I would haul off and just right hook.
I feel like anyone over the age of like 60, I gotta think about it. I'm like, all right, this is like, is this like an elderly hate crime, or does he actually suck? Mitch McConnell sucks.
Trump had Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz has a very punchable face.
Punchable, man. Those pictures
Let me catch
of him
that man
back
in the TSA
from,
line on his way to Mexico while there's a serious power outage going through his entire state, and the entire power grid is about to just collapse.
Yeah, fuck you, Ted Cruz. Fucking punchable ass face. I think there's a lot of political people that have very punchable faces. I'm trying to think of a non-political person. You know what I mean? The thing about like a lot of sports people is they have a helmet on so much of the time. Nikita Mazepin, formerly of F1, very punchable face. Anyone else? Just know, if you have a punchable face and you weren't named in this episode, we're still coming for you. Maybe we should make this a recurring segment, like who this week has the most punchable face.
Punchable face that I saw this week.
Yeah, we'll think about that. Yeah,
it'll be a reoccurring segment. Maybe not every week, but you got to tune in every week to see if we talk about it every week.
If someone's got a face that deserves to be punched, we'll make sure that they super get mentioned.
They will get their shine, and then you will know they have a punchable face. You see how I brought that full circle?
We gotta have like a specific sound effect for the punchable face, or I'll just get like a punching sound effect or something. But
pop, pop, pop,
pow, pow.
Oh, come on, man.
Yeah, that's not the one. But whatever. Let's go ahead and move along. We are at the place where everybody has come for.
Onto the 3x3 or the 3x2 if you're listening audially.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's real. So it's 3x3 because we're doing 3 shoes in the copper drop. But once we get to episode 5, we're going to cut these up so you can actually listen to them just as audio. You don't have to go on YouTube and watch it. But we're going to cut the copper drop at that point. So it'll be a 2x3 officially. But we'll call it the 3x3 for now.
Maybe we'll try the 3x3 on the first one, and I will vividly explain and describe this shoe to you so that you're maybe, sitting at your cubicle listening to the podcast, doing a little work, maybe driving, commute. I will describe this shoe so that you can picture that on your windshield. You're going to see this shoe as you're driving down the highway.
I bet. Well, first, what's the first shoe then?
First shoe, I saw this one on Instagram this week. Adidas and South Park announced a collab. They're doing 2 shoes, and they are both they're both highlighting Butters, which, love me some Butters.
Such an interesting character to pick.
I know,
Big shout
right?
out Butters. Yeah, like what? Okay.
But this is the Professor Chaos colorway, highlighting his alter ego in the superheroes. So you got a nice little like powder blue teal is the main colorway. Got some silver with a tinfoil accent to it. So you got the tinfoil mask. You got the yellow highlights on there. I think they've got kind of a little Colorado flag logo on the tongue, a la South Park.
Yeah, definitely a little vibe there.
I think it's the link I sent you doesn't have a picture of the box, but the box is probably the coolest part of the shoe.
Oh, really?
It's basically like the South Park finish of the intro on like a South Park episode where it has everybody the mountains in the background. That's the box. And I'm not a huge fan of the shoe. I think it's a fun shoe, but I'm not a huge fan of NMDs. Probably wouldn't wear them, not very comfortable. But
I've
with
never
that
worn any
being
NMDs,
said, I might buy it just for the box.
A good box will do a lot for a shoe that you plan on like holding on to for a while. Because I feel like if you're going to wear it, that's one thing. If you're going to keep it, you want a good box to keep it with, at least. You know what I mean? Maybe not in the box, but with. These are tough. I kind of like the foil, but I don't know about the foil and the light blue. You know what I mean? These are very Butters. It's all the Butters color scheme.
It really hits the Professor Chaos character well.
Oh yeah, the tinfoil for sure. It might be a drop for me though, huh? Ooh.
It's a drop for me. Maybe I'll pick it up after it releases on eBay and get it under retail. Unless it's like $100, $120 shoe, I'm probably not getting this when they drop. $160. Yeah, I'm gonna fade these and then maybe pick them up on eBay.
I'm gonna fade these.
So
it's a drop. Goodbye.
That's a drop all around on sneaker number 1. Number 2, we are going with a nice Nike SB Dunk. Love me an SB Dunk. The Dunks are nice, but I love the SB. You get that fat tongue, a little bit more comfort on the sides.
Skate shoes
you're
forever.
hitting those ollies. You don't want to ollie in a pair of Ultra Boosts like I did. You'll put a hole in the front of them.
Instantly.
But this colorway is they're dubbing it the Phillies Nike SB Dunk Low. Basically, picture the kind of powder blue with the maroon old school Phillies jersey and throw that on an SB Dunk. I'm a big fan of powder blue shoes, and the maroon I think accents it well. Love the gum bottom on it. And if you look on the inside of the tongue, on I think the left shoe, there's a Philly cheesesteak. And on the right shoe, I can't really make out what that is, but some other...
It's a Liberty Bell for sure.
Oh, is it? Oh, there's the Liberty Bell.
Yeah,
finally loaded.
It's a Liberty Bell.
Yeah, that's clearly the Liberty Bell. These for me are a cop 100% if I can get my hands on them. SB Dunks are going to be tough though.
Yeah, SB Dunks really fly off the shelves these days. I remember I used to just get my pair for like $80-$90. It was great. These, I mean, we're 2 for 2 on blue shoes here. I do love a gum bottom. I do think that the colorway goes good together. And I like the cheesesteak a lot. You gotta love a good cheesesteak. But at the end of the day, I think these might be a drop for me just because like the powder blue with the suede. We've talked about suede before on the show. I think these are a drop for me. If they were in another colorway, they'd just be an SB Dunk, right? And I just want an SB Dunk with the gum bottom and a Philly cheesesteak on the inside. And if I can get that, then it would be a cop for me.
So, is it a cop or is it a drop? Because you said you want it with the cheesesteak and the gum bottom, and that's what's on the shoe.
But they're blue. For the blue, it's a drop.
That's a drop. Okay.
No more
too
powder
much
blue or suede.
That's a cop for me.
Too much blue, too much
It's a cop
suede.
for me if I can get my hands on them.
Okay. Okay.
And 2, our Jordan feature sneaker of the week. These ones are hot.
Oh, yeah.
They are coming out, I want to
what
say next week. Yeah, March 25th on Sneakers app and probably Foot Locker and the likes via raffles. But these are the Muslin colorway. Is what they're calling. It's kind of a cream with a little bit of light gray muslin. Musiln, like Muslim, but with an N. That's how you spell
Muslin, right?
Muslin.
Yeah, whatever.
Whatever. It's spelled Muslin. Plug it into StockX.
Yeah.
It's like a cream colorway. I believe the upper material is it looks like it's a little bit of suede, but not full faux suede fur. Some cool gray accents, cool gray on the bottom. I'm a big fan of the red eyelets. Give it a little pop, especially with the Jumpman logo. These are a must hit if I can get them for me. This is a pickup for sure.
Damn, super cop. Yeah, I mean,
Super
I agree. These are really nice. I would like maybe some red laces on them. That's an easy fix. These are gonna set the hood on fire, man. These are absolutely beautiful shoes. Yeah, I don't really have much else to say. These are a straight cop. Yeah. And I'm not even a big Jordan wearer. I've never owned Jordans in my life.
They've been coming out with a lot more multi-lace pairs where like they'll send you home with damn near 3 different colors. I think the last Marinas that I picked up, the Jordan 1s, they gave you a white, a blue, and a black, and they might be doing that here. But
that'd be fucking sick.
The cream upper is more of a canvas. Okay, I like that even better. Easier to take care of and clean. That gray.
Yeah, it definitely looks like a canvas. It's like a Vans X Nike shoe. It's so sick.
Ooh, I could see
the canvas shoe's always gonna feel like a Van to me. But yeah, these are dope. Super cop for me. Not a chance I can afford them, but put some red laces on them and I'll pay $300 for them. Fuck it.
You could get them at retail for $200. Maybe what
Sweet.
you do, you buy 2 pairs, you flip one, and then the one that you flip pays for the pair that you keep. Economics.
That's real. See, that's the way to do it. And I just don't have $400 to be flipping on shoes right now, which is just what it is. That's why I be wearing beaters, man. People don't know I wear beaters constantly. Bad shoes, but it keeps me.
Nah,
humble.
bro, don't sleep on those polos.
The polos are just dirty now. I miss the polos, man. I need to see if I can get them in, like anywhere else, but I haven't been able to find them again. So it might just be an L. I might have to try to clean them, but they're pretty dirty.
I've always been a big fan of those.
Hell yeah. Thank you, man. Blow up my head. All right. This is the part. I keep saying this for every section. This is the part that people have been waiting for. Top 3. Let's go. Tell me what the top 3 is for this week. Yeah.
In honor of one of my favorite holidays coming up tomorrow. We're recording this on Wednesday. So it will just have been my favorite holiday when y'all are listening to it. St. Patrick's Day. Everybody needs an excuse to get absolutely belligerent, to show up at the bar, spend $200, and then black out in 2 hours. My favorite kind of night. And St. Patrick's Day is a great excuse to have one of those nights. So, in honor of St. Patrick's Day, we're going to go with our top 3 songs for St. Patrick's Day pregame, St. Patrick's Day parties. You driving to the St. Patrick's Day parade, drinking in the back of the cab, whatever music you listen to on St. Patrick's Day.
All right. Well, you want to go? We flipped a coin last week, right? I don't think I have a coin on me at the moment.
Yeah,
why don't you just go first? I do not have a coin.
All right. 1-1 pick it's got to be State of Massachusetts. If you've ever seen The Departed, this song plays like maybe 3 or 4 times throughout the song. The
State of Massachusetts.
It's just a classic. You hear it, you know what song it is. You maybe chug that green beer a little bit faster, get up, try to do a sloppy Irish jig where you look like you have absolutely no idea what you're doing, and you just let your white boy go.
Let's go. In fact, I think we're going to have a lot of crossover on this list between us 3. So you had State of Massachusetts, Dropkick Murphys, which shout out us seeing Dropkick Murphys. It was definitely, like, I think my first show of all time. Great show.
Yeah, it was the first concert I ever went to.
So mine has to be Shipping Up to Boston, also by the Dropkick Murphys. Let's go.
Bum, bum.
Two classics by the Dropkick Murphys. You know? You can't go through a St. Patrick's Day without hearing that song.
You can't go through St. Patrick's Day without hearing at least like 5 or 6 Dropkick Murphy songs, and probably 3 of those songs are the exact same song that you've heard maybe at least 3 times that day.
Exactly.
That's just the way it goes.
What's next? Second song.
But we're going to stray away from classic Irish music and go with an Irish rapper. Irish Celebration, Macklemore and Ryan Lewis, another classic. I mean, the song's called Irish Celebration. Need I say more?
And that was like the first Macklemore song, right? Like, I don't think I had heard anything before Irish Celebration. I think you're the one that showed me Irish Celebration.
That was off of the Versus EP where he had Other Side, which was the song about like lean, and it was sampling Under the Bridge by Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Oh, okay. I didn't know those came out at the same time.
Got him big. Yeah.
Macklemore on his way to the Grammy. Fuck yeah. My second song, I'm going back to more of a classic thing. And I'm going to say it's got to be Flogging Molly. But I got 2 choices, and I have to choose wisely because I have a non-Flogging Molly song for my third one. For Irish people, for the St. Patrick's Day vibe, I have to go What's Left of the Flag by Flogging Molly. It's my fucking jam. And it's you know, it's very driving bar song vibes, you know?
You didn't take the Flogging Molly song that I had in mind.
Aha.
But in the interest
sure it was the other one.
in the interest of having 2/3 of our top 3 dominated by 2 artists, I am not going to choose that song. And I'm between 2.
Oh, come on, man.
Yeah.
I'm between a classic Irish song, and I'm between a song. They might be an Irish. Maybe. Okay, well, I'm taking Chelsea Dagger by the Fratellis. I don't know if the Fratellis are an Irish band or an English band, and I had a feeling that was going to be your next pick.
Bro, Chicago St. Patrick's Day is all about Chelsea Dagger. Like, yeah, that was definitely going to be my last pick. Fuck you.
They're from the UK, so they're not an Irish band, but they're from the UK. Oh, no, they're from Scotland, so that's kind of Irish.
I feel like a lot of people just got really mad at you. The Irish people just got really mad that you compared to
the Scottish people probably got even more mad.
They're upset. They're all mad. Go eat a potato. My last song, since you have taken the Fratellis, I'm going back to have 2/3 of our shit being the same, and I got to go with Drunken Lullabies by Flogging Molly. That song is absolutely amazing. Any day of the year, though, but especially over St. Patrick's Day.
Honorable mention to Whiskey in the Jar by the Dubliners. It's classic, a little less upbeat, but still solid St. Patrick's Day jam.
Hell yeah. I think most things, honestly, a lot of country music comes out on St. Patrick's Day too. I think that's just like a white people thing. But honorable mention to a lot of country songs out there.
I was at Poorhouse on Friday night, and they were mixing State of Massachusetts, the instrumental for State of Massachusetts, and like Move Bitch by Ludacris or something like that, where it was like some 2000s hip hop on top of State of Massachusetts. It was one of the wildest songs I think I've ever heard.
That sounds awesome, Loki. If the DJ does it right, that sounds sick. Like, all right,
it hit.
Is that it?
I think that's it. Now the new
time.
Music. Get some new shit on your playlist.
All right, so you went first with the Irish song, so I will go first with the songs of the week here. So my first song of the week, I had to go with, and I got 2 songs on here that might get us copyright stricken, so I'm actually going to change one of them. So the first song I'm going to start off with is a vibe. My friend Fatboy Goth. This song is called Can't Tell Me Shit.
Started popping up as a kid. Don't wanna be my friend again. I know this shit don't make no sense, but this is my life, can't tell me shit. My bubbling is my medicine. Truck all night with my friends again. I know this shit don't make no sense, but this is my life, can't tell me shit.
Can't tell him shit whatsoever. The music video just dropped. We got a Fatboy Goth show coming up this Saturday. Also Junebug. Also most of the Broken Souls people. It's gonna be a good time. So check it out. Can't Tell Me Shit. Fat Boy Goth. Gotta search Fat Boy Goth, all one word. I learned that today while I was
Friend of the
trying to
program.
find the song. Yeah, friend of the podcast. Let's go. What you got?
I think we're going to start off with little Terry Presume had a project come out the middle of last year, a little 5-6 song EP that I was a big fan of. I think I showed you him. He just released this single last week called Don't Like You. So, Terry Presume.
Here we go.
He's got a good sound. I like his voice.
Yeah. It's very like Smino-esque, but it's still very what's it called? Distinctive. Like it's definitely the type of voice where I could be like, oh yeah, it's not Smino, that's someone else.
Yeah, he still has a good hip hop sound to it, but at the same time he can flip the switch and go a little R&B and soul. Very versatile artist. Shouts to Terry.
Hell yeah. I'm a big fan of that. All right, cool. Next one here is one that I am worried about us getting taken off the air for, so I'm just gonna like kind of talk over it the whole time. The Black Keys are back, and I feel like a lot of people just kind of forgot about the Black Keys. You know what I mean? Like, where'd they go? But this one is Wild Child by the Black Keys. I was put on to recently.
Are they coming out with an album?
They're definitely coming out with an album. It's expected that we're gonna have what's it called? Like a tour coming up before the album's actually released. But I'm excited, man.
Probably play Coachella.
Big shit. This is what the Black Keys do, just constantly come out with an album every 4 or so years, tour the world, go back into hiding. Here it is, Black Keys, Wild Child. And I'm not even gonna let people hear too much of that because I know it's gonna get our shit taken down. So, Wild Child, you heard 2 seconds of it.
It's like them and Greta Van Fleet are the only 2 bands that come to mind when I try to think of like who's still doing just fucking rock and roll.
Oh,
who's
yeah.
just doing like just rock.
And I really appreciate their setup too because they have literally just the 2 of them, and the way they do it just feels very natural and stuff like that.
Bring that back in for a sec.
You know what it is. You know what the fuck it is.
Just a little sneak peek. We can't get banned.
I know. Like, literally, if it's just a couple seconds and we get demonetized, that's fine. But getting, like, the whole video taken down after edit,
getting blacklisted by YouTube for just playing 10 seconds of a song, not the move.
Fuck you, YouTube. All right, what's next?
Next up, you went rock and roll, so I'm going to go a little bit of alternative as well. A band I found last year called Pup. They just had a album that they released called The Unraveling of Pup the Band, based out of Toronto, Ontario. This is
Shout
Matilda
out.
by Pup. Go check out the album artwork. The album artwork is wild.
It does look crazy. That like
Very
kind of
interactive
animated thing. Yeah. All right, here we go. Pup.
Almost got like a little like Blink-182 sound in the vocals, kind of a little whiny.
Yeah, a little whiny. I mean, at the end of the day, I think it's still very alternative and not as like pop punk or anything like that as a lot of other stuff. Fire.
They have a single that they released last year called Anaphylaxis that is a staple in my gym playlist.
Anaphylaxis.
Big fan of Pup.
Okay, hell yeah. Where'd you find Pup again?
I just found them on like a new music playlist somewhere on Spotify or something. I think that song Anaphylaxis last year, the year before that, and they've just been popping up every once in a while with a new album, new EP.
Hell yeah.
Big fan.
It's tough for me to find new alternative, I feel like, unless I give into the Spotify playlist and shit like that, which I shall not. All right, here we go. Last song for me. This is friend of the podcast, and I'm actually wearing his hat right now. This is Benny the Jet. Did a show with Benny the Jet the other day. Came through for me, and here we are. This is Closer, featuring Futuristic. I can't talk.
Hey.
Stay moving, stay pushing, stay committed. I stay on my grind in my bag cause I'm with it. Lost a couple homies but I never stop winning. Stabbed in the back but I never stop grinning. See me moonwalking.
If we get demonetized because of Benny the Jet, we gotta drive out.
Benny's coming get his fucking money. Yeah. Benny is definitely getting his money, so if we get demonetized and he takes it all, you know what the fuck it is. Check out Benny the Jet, man. He really is friends with Futuristic like that. I don't know if you guys remember Futuristic, but he they definitely be kicking it. He goes out to Arizona quite a bit and kicks it with Futuristic.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll be filming a video for that one pretty soon.
Oh, hell yeah. Definitely that. All right, last song here. We've made it, man.
Last up, finishing strong, new Mike Dimes. You fuck with Mike Dimes? You know who he is?
No, I don't know who he is. But
No?
any Mike is a friend of the podcast.
Any Mike is a friend of mine. Mike Dimes.
I actually don't know if I want to say that, but yeah.
21-year-old rapper out of San Antonio, Texas.
Ooh.
Just recently had a interview with Double XL, I think.
Oh,
So
word.
my man's kind of blowing up a little bit. This is a single that he released last week, I think, called Paparazzi. Actually might be
Hell
off
yeah.
his upcoming album. I don't know. It's a good song, though.
Mike Dimes. Here we go.
Mike Dimes.
Prophecy, I'm kicking shit a solo soccer team. Where's Billie Jean? I'm trying to see if she can rock with me. If you blind, I give you semen, you can taste my collar. And I'm too official if you speak to me.
Okay.
Dress me properly. My small
Okay. Whoa, that's hard. I did not expect that to be what that song sounded like.
Yeah, no, that song goes hard. It's off of I was wrong. It's not a sample. It's off of his new project In Dimes We Trust, which is out now. So go check that out on your streaming platforms and listen to this song. Oh shit, okay. I did feature him 2 weeks ago?
Word. What was the song?
That was here, let me find it real quick.
Don't tell me it was Paparazzi again.
No, it wasn't Paparazzi. It was Home.
Hell yeah. So
Which I think is probably off the
on the list,
same
okay.
album. So
Hell
go check it
yeah.
out. In Dimes We
Mike
Trust.
Dimes.
Mike Dimes.
Come on, man.
Ooh, wrong ones.
There we go.
I don't hate it here. I love it here. So with that being said, now you know. It's been
Week
a good one,
4.
man.
Episode
We kept
4
it
in the
we kept it
books.
just about an hour. I think we did the things we were supposed to do this week to up the ante.
And if we didn't do the things you wanted us to do, slide in the comments. I
Yeah,
mean, the only
let us
way
know.
we get better is if you help us get better. Otherwise,
We only
we're
got
just
2
talking
more
into the void.
weeks. Literally, we only got 2 more weeks of this as non-professional podcasters. So once we're professional after 6 weeks of doing this, you can't tell us shit. You know what I mean? Like Fatboy Goss said, can't tell me shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so,
So get
reach
them
out
comments
to
in
us,
now.
give us some constructive criticism, let us know what you want to see, because then when we go professional 2 weeks from now, you can be like, oh shit, I knew them before they blew up. I knew them before they were professional podcasters. I knew them when they were amateur podcasters. Get your clout up.
Get your clout up, boys and girls. Now you know. This is M. Watts.
J. Kraft, we out.
And we are the fuck out of here. Have a good rest of your day.